Divorced men are thus in a unique position when it comes to their interest in OnlyFans pages. Their interest might be short-lived while they pull the pieces of both their personal life and their romantic lives back together. They may also be in a position of desperation to fill a void that they have been left with, which could lead them to make impulsive financial decisions in the short term. This is good news for OnlyFans creators because many will subscribe to a lot of different OnlyFans pages in hopes to interact or just view the content that is provided there. They might not be as discerning as other subscribers, and they will likely tip much higher in order to get the attention that they are currently lacking at home. So as an OnlyFans creator, the best way to approach divorced and separated men is to provide the fantasy partner that they are lacking at that moment. This will likely be the time when they will be shopping for particular niches or even looking for a creator that looks or reminds them of the partner they just broke up with. You, as an OnlyFans creator, may feel more like a counselor when talking to them than as an idolized goddess. But that is what this group of men need. So overall, the best way to attract and retain this type of client is to promote yourself as much as possible so you will be seen by them when they are in an impulsive mood to spend a lot of money. All right, next group, married men. So what do married men want from an OnlyFans page? Many content creators would like to think that married men aren't the ones fattening their pockets on OnlyFans for moral reasons, but in fact, many of them are. Married men are in a unique position because they are either have accepting partners who are fine with them looking at OnlyFans pages, or they do not. Either way, they are likely going to partake in online content in some way behind their partner's back. There are many men who have happy marriages who just simply will subscribe to OnlyFans pages for the fantasy aspect of it, or because it is risque and exciting. Typically, these men will subscribe to one or two of their favorite creators and leave it at that. For married men who might be deeply unhappy in their marriages or have spouses that treat them badly or even cheat on them, OnlyFans is a decent alternative and escape from this reality. You would see a married man in this circumstance act more like a young single man that we talked about earlier and subscribe to many different OnlyFans pages and tip in order to get as much attention as they can from their favorite models on the site. People who are unhappy in their relationships tend to look for anything to help alleviate the pain of them, especially if there are reasons they cannot get out of their relationship, i.e. kids or family obligations. So in order to attract married men to subscribe to your page, you'll typically want to appeal to them the same way you would young men. That is, give them impulsive-based content to purchase and make your page as pay-to-play an area as possible that rewards high tippers and those fans that pay the most attention to you. While morally it may be wrong for men to subscribe to OnlyFans pages when married, in some cases, it is not up to you as a creator to police their actions. You are fulfilling a helpful role in many cases, as there is a big difference between virtual content and actual real-life physical cheating. All right, next group, older retired men. So what do older retired men want from an OnlyFans page? Older retired men are a group often forgotten about when it comes to OnlyFans promotion and marketing because they do not typically exist in the same areas of social media that you might find their younger counterparts. But this is a group that has a good amount of expendable income each month due to retirement funds and Social Security. While that might not sound like a good way to spend your older years, to you, many older people have disabilities that might prevent them from socializing in the real world the same way you might be able to do as a younger person. So it's best not to discount this group when it comes to who you want subscribing and following you on OnlyFans. Typically, this group is going to desire the least amount of interaction of anyone because they are used to consuming content in an older way. This is a group that would have had to go into an adult movie theater in the 1960s and 1970s just to see what is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week now online. So they are not going to be looking to interact with your content as much as to consume as much of it as possible. Most older men don't have the unfounded fantasies of younger men in that they won't be trying to date you in real life or fall in love. This group is just going to want to see content that reminds them of what they liked in their earlier years. Many of these men are also open to older content creators. As I've talked about before, many of the most popular OnlyFans creators are quite young, at 18 or 19 years old. While some older men might be into that age group, they are also more open to creators in their 30s, 40s, and 50s as well. So the best way to attract this group is to provide consistent content, and typically a lot of it, for them to consume on a regular basis. Right, last group, women. So what do women want from an OnlyFans page? While the most attention is paid to getting men to subscribe to OnlyFans pages, there are also women who subscribe as well for a myriad of reasons. There are certainly women who subscribe to men's pages of OnlyFans the same way the opposite sex does. There are certainly a lot of attractive men, both gay, bi, and straight, who post on OnlyFans for women to subscribe to and enjoy their content. Then there are obviously lesbian and bi women who would subscribe to female OnlyFans pages as well. Many older professional women have the same kind of disposable income that their male counterparts do. As more and more women have high incomes from their own careers and success, they also need the same kind of stress relief that a site like OnlyFans can provide. There are also going to be creators who are going to subscribe to your pages either because they enjoy your content or are looking for ideas on how you are succeeding on the platform. The best way to attract and keep female subscribers is to provide consistent high-quality content on a regular basis. If you are interested in women and you are female, you want to make sure to state that somewhere in your profile on OnlyFans so that other women won't be too intimidated to contact you for custom content or to talk to you. The more interaction you have with someone, the more likely they are to tip and stay loyal to your page. So make sure you let women know that they are welcome on your page and you encourage their participation and attention. All right, so what do OnlyFans subscribers want? This might be the first time you really thought about the different types of OnlyFans subscribers and how they each come up with their own different wants and needs. Obviously, there are always exceptions to the rules I've mentioned. For example, you can have a very mature young single man who wants long intellectual conversations over a vintage wine. But typically, as mentioned, this group will want attention and lots of it as they subscribe to your page. It's important to know who you are likely to attract based on your own characteristics. And if you are attracting the wrong types of subscribers to your page, you'll want to make the changes needed to move your content and page in a different direction. Overall, most OnlyFans subscribers want consistent content and a creator who is somewhat available to them. Obviously, just creating content can be tiring enough when you likely have other jobs and responsibilities in life. But if you want to succeed on the platform, you will take the time to target the demographic that fits best with your page and try to give them exactly what they want. All right, so that was, what do your OnlyFans subscribers want? And again, you can read along to the podcast at seobounty.com/137 if you missed any of the words that I stated, or you just want to review what was stated on this podcast. And you can find this podcast all over the place on different apps and the internet. You can find us on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. You can find us on Reddit at r/OnlyFans Secrets. You can find us, of course, on OnlyFans itself at onlyfans.com/OnlyFans Hero, where you can subscribe for free and follow us for free to get the latest updates on the podcast. And of course, you can find us on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, at OnlyFans Noobs, and OnlyFans Podcast. And we run a promotion on Twitter as well, which you can buy. And you can go to seobounty.com/Twitter-promos to find out information on buying a promo that will go across all of our different promotional pages for OnlyFans and Fansly creators. Again, that's at seobounty.com/Twitter-promos. And you also can look at OnlyFans Hero if you want any further information on that, and contact me directly as well with any questions. All right, so on to listener question of the week. Now, the question is, what should I do about unsolicited graphic pictures or videos from my fans on OnlyFans? Do I comment or ignore what they send? All right, so a lot of creators deal with getting unsolicited nudes and genitalia pictures on a regular basis. So one thing to not do is to block them, especially if they are a paid subscriber, because this, as we've gone over before, breaks your contract with them. So when they pay, there's a contract. They are paying for the full month or 30 days or however it goes with the credit card company. If you block them, you immediately break that contract and they can get their money back. So what you want to do instead is you want to restrict them. So use the restrict feature if you are getting pictures that you do not want to be seeing. So if you are not totally offended or grossed out, try to use the opportunity to sell them more content, as they are obviously trying to act or to get your attention, even if it's in a bad manner. One clever user on Reddit named xdeaddread says that they tell people that the image they sent is blurry and they need to tip them in order to see it. I feel like that is a brilliant way to turn a negative into a positive. But as a creator, you get to set your own rules. So if you do not want to see that kind of material, simply just restrict them. If you see it as an opportunity possibly to make more money from an interested fan, do your best to interact with that person. Obviously, if the person is vulgar, if they are disrespectful, if they are making you uncomfortable, you definitely want to restrict them. And if there is no other way out of it, you will want to block them, even if it ends up being or costing you some money. And I thought that was a really good question. So I appreciate that listener question very much. And as always, you can reach out to me at OnlyFans Hero if you have any questions about this podcast, any questions about OnlyFans, or questions about the promotion that we run. Just feel free to go to OnlyFans Hero on Twitter. Also, you can leave a review for this podcast on Amazon.com, through Audible. You just look up OnlyFans Secrets, or through iTunes as well. You can leave a review just with stars, or you can leave a written review. If you leave a written review, feel free to let me know, as I love to read those very much. And just let everyone know the podcast is now going to be every other week. So there's many different ways to say that, bi-monthly, bi-weekly, but overall it will be every other week. There will be an episode now of the podcast. So if you've been a loyal listener for the last year, you will now have an episode every 2 weeks instead of every week. And I just wanted to let everyone know that. And as always, I just really appreciate everyone who listens to this podcast and supports this podcast. Please continue to do so. And I will see you on the next episode of the OnlyFans Secrets podcast.